Let's be honest, buying your first home in Colorado Springs can feel like you're trying to climb a mountain before you even get to see the actual mountains. I mean, the market is competitive and the prices can be pretty intimidating. But what if I told you there was a smarter, more affordable way to get the keys to your very first place? Well, in this explainer, we are going to map out that exact path step by step.
Okay, let's just get it out there. The big number on everyone's mind, $440,000. That is the median listing price in Colorado Springs right now. And hey, if seeing that number makes your stomach drop a little bit, you are definitely not alone. It's a daunting figure for sure, but stick with me. You know that feeling of being completely priced out? That's exactly why we're doing this. The good news is, you don't have to just sit around and hope for prices to drop. It's all about having a smart strategy. It's about finding a more intelligent way to approach the whole shebang.
So, here's our game plan to get you from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered. First, we're going to tackle the market challenge head-on. Then, I'll show you a smarter way to buy and how to pick the perfect guide for your journey. We'll walk through the exact path to your new front door, see how it worked for a real person, and then wrap it all up with a checklist to get you started.
All right, so first up, what are we actually up against? Because before you can find a smart solution, you really have to understand the problem. So let's take a quick look at the reality of the Colorado Springs housing market today.
Well, the secret's out. Colorado Springs is a fantastic place to live. With that incredible lifestyle and all the growing opportunities, more and more people are moving here. And all that popularity has driven home prices up about 7% in just the last year alone. This is exactly why a budget-savvy approach isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely essential.
Okay, so we know prices are high because, well, the city is popular. How do we get around that? This is where the strategy really comes into play. Let's look at a different kind of real estate agency, one that's actually built from the ground up to save buyers money. So what in the world is an affordable real estate agency? Think of it this way. Traditional agencies usually take a percentage of the sale price as their commission. But these newer models, they change the whole formula. They use things like a single flat fee, or even better, they give you a cash rebate at closing. The entire goal is just to cut down on your costs. Simple as that.
The benefits here are pretty clear, right? You get lower fees, transparent pricing, but for a first-time buyer, two things really stand out. First, you get full access to all the MLS listings, so you don't miss a single thing. And second, the buyer rebate program. That rebate is actual cash back in your pocket at closing. We'll see exactly how powerful that can be in just a bit.
So the concept sounds great, but how do you actually find one of these agencies? Choosing the right guide is one of the most important decisions you'll make in this whole process. So let's break down how to compare your options.
Let's look at a few examples right here in town. On one side, you've got an agency like Flat Rate Realty, which really focuses on a buyer rebate. That's a direct, guaranteed saving for you. On the other side, you have the giants like Keller Williams and RE/MAX. Their big strengths are their huge networks and agents who are known for being skilled negotiators. Look, neither one is right or wrong. The key is figuring out what you want to prioritize: guaranteed savings or a potentially wider net of options.
So how do you choose? Well, it's basically a 6-step process. You always start with your own finances. From there, you compare the fee structures and definitely check online reviews. Make sure they give you full MLS access and don't be shy. Ask them directly about rebates. But honestly, most importantly, meet the agents. You're going to be working really closely with this person, so communication and trust, that's everything. Okay, once you've chosen your guide, the path itself becomes so much clearer. The whole home buying process can seem super intimidating, but when you break it down, it's really just a series of manageable steps. Let's walk through them together.
This is your roadmap, from start to finish. Step 1, and trust me, this is non-negotiable, is getting pre-approved for a loan. That way, you know your exact budget. Then you can start researching areas and officially partner up with your realtor. After that comes the fun part, searching for homes. When you find the one, your agent will help you put together a competitive offer. If it's accepted, you'll move into the final phase of inspections and finalizing your loan, right before you close the deal and get those keys in your hand.
All this theory is great, right? But does it actually work in the real world? Let's look at an example of a first-time buyer right here in Colorado Springs who used this exact strategy to her advantage. So this is Jessica, and her starting point probably sounds very familiar. She was looking at the market, seeing those prices just keep going up, and she was feeling discouraged. It's a feeling I think a lot of us can relate to. So what did she do? She took action. She decided to partner with an agency that offered the exact benefits we've been talking about: expert advice, early access to listings, which is huge in a competitive market, and of course, a buyer rebate. This was her strategic move.
And here's the result. Because of that agency's 0.5% buyer rebate program, Jessica saved almost $2,000 at closing. I mean, that is real money that went right back into her pocket. Money that can make a huge difference when you're setting up a new home. This is the real, tangible power of having a smart strategy.
Wow. So, we've gone from the big market challenges to a strategic solution and even a real success story. Let's boil all of that down into a final checklist that you can use to start your own journey.
So what are the key takeaways here? First, just know that your power lies in making smart choices. Seek out those agencies with transparent fees and specifically ask about buyer rebates. Lean on your agent to use market data to find the right home for you, and trust that step-by-step process to guide you smoothly to the finish line.
You know, home ownership isn't just a financial transaction. It's the start of a whole new chapter. And following a clear, affordable path can absolutely get you there. So the only question left to ask yourself is, what's going to be the first memory you make in your new home?